Let's have a chat about the magical heritage red raspberry plant. Welcome back to Chatting with Chintzy. I'm Chintzy Barato. Today on episode 2 of You Should Be Growing This, our special guest is the heritage red raspberry plant. Today we're going to discuss a little bit of its magical attributes. Yes, I said magical attributes.
Magical raspberries.
We're going to discuss why you should be growing this, how easy it is to grow, how easy it is to take care of, and some of the attributes and specifications of the plant itself. I am ready to get this party started, and you are invited. The heritage red raspberry plant is a biennial. What that means is the first year it's going to produce canes. These are called canes. Basically like the branch. And what this will do is it will just be in vegetative growth, meaning it just grows. And in the second year, it will sprout fruit. So you're only going to get fruit off of each cane every other year, which means it's biennial, or biannual, if you want to use that term. There are 2 types of canes on the heritage red raspberry bush. They are called primocanes or primocanes and floricanes. I'm going to show you real quick the difference between the two. But first off, a primocane or primocane, meaning prime first, is one that is a new cane this season. It will not produce fruit. That is this guy right here. This is a new growth. It will not produce any fruit this year. A floricane is this guy. He's producing fruit. And we are at the end of July, so we're going to start growing more raspberries to harvest this season. This will be the second fruiting. But this is a floricane. Now, this is part of this branch, and as you can see, I have a pink string tied around this, and so that identifies this as a floricane. The heritage red raspberry is what's considered an everbearing. Now, what that means is you're going to get a small summer harvest in the early summer, late spring kind of thing, and then you're going to get a much bigger harvest from that point all the way into the fall until first frost date. Another thing about this plant is it's self-pollinating. It doesn't need a buddy out here to produce fruit. It does it all on its own. Incredibly easy. Some interesting facts about the heritage red raspberry. It is generally considered to be disease resistant. Now, it's resistance against blight and several other diseases, so it's very low maintenance, very easy to grow, and that's why you should be growing this. This thing is pretty pest resistant. I have not had to spray this thing a single time with any neem oil and that's really all I use. I only use organic bug sprays. I don't like the chemical stuff because you're eating that. You can see right here, I do have a little bit of pests that have been eating this thing, but the rest of these leaves look fabulous. I mean, this stuff's gonna happen. I'm not too worried about that. There's another leaf right here. So if you need to treat it, spray some neem oil on it, but they generally leave this plant alone. I planted this plant right here, and it was, a small little plant, a little bit bigger than this strawberry plant. Now look how far this thing has spread. I mean, it's coming all the way over here. I don't know if you can judge distance on this, but from here to the center of the plant is 5, maybe 6 feet. So these things will spread 2 to 3 feet per year in all directions or more. The ancient Germanic tribesmen used to believe, and it's not even a matter of belief, I can see how it would work, believe that tying raspberry canes, with thorns in them of course, around a wild horse would tame it. Well, if you tied, raspberry canes around me with thorns on them, it'd probably tame me too. Just saying. They're very much like the strawberry. They require 1 to 2 inches of water per week. Now, during a plump harvest season, I would say almost double that up to about 3 inches a week. If you have it in a no-till or back to Eden garden, you almost never have to water. But if you don't, the roots of the raspberry bush are pretty shallow, very much like the strawberry. They're going to go down maybe about 6 inches, maybe a little bit more. So they like to stay moist. Don't let it get dried out. Put down 2 to 3 inches of good mulch. Now, like I said, I have a no-till garden, so it's got mulch around it year round. But make sure you have it mulched. That will help maintain the moisture in the plant. Now, what you can use is triple tin. It's a good general fertilizer. It's pretty inexpensive and available pretty much anywhere. Now, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to fertilize it in early spring. So before you get any berries, give it about a half cup per plant. And what I mean when I say plant is this bunch in the middle. All the stuff growing off around the edges, those are separate plants. And you're going to put it around the base of the plant. Never put fertilizer directly on the plant. It will burn it. Don't put it down in the middle of the plant. Put it around the base of the plant. But you're not done yet. You're going to give these a second dose of fertilizer. You can use the same thing, triple tin. You're going to want to do that late spring, early summer, after you get the first harvest. And again, the first harvest is pretty small. I was getting a handful a day. Once it stops producing that, like I said, that will be early summer, say early June, somewhere around there. You're going to give them another dose of fertilizer, and that's going to be another half cup. Now, never fertilize these things after June, because if you give it fertilizer and this plant is thinking, oh, I'm about to produce another harvest, you're going to trigger it back into vegetative growth and you're going to kill your fall harvest. So never fertilize these things after June. Did you know the raspberry used to be white? According to Greek legend, the nymph Ida or Ida, who was basically a caregiver for the infant Zeus, pricked her breast on a raspberry bush, and from that blood, it dripped onto the raspberry and made raspberries red. That's how it happened, ladies and gentlemen. And you thought magic didn't exist. Let's talk a little bit about winter pruning. And again, I want to point out that's different than regular pruning. Regular pruning is done any time of the year for, like I said, dead or diseased canes. That can be done anytime, just like any plant. But what you're going to want to do is leave 3 to 5 canes. And this is the core of the plant. I know it looks like a jungle over here. That's because this plant's spreading. And tie those up with wire. All the foliage will have dropped off. It'll be a lot easier to see. And I'm going to do a video in the winter of actually pruning this thing. Some people cut them all the way down to the ground. I don't see a need to do that because, you know, basically what happens is you're making the plant use a lot of its energy to regrow. So, but you are going to want to cut about the top third of the branch. I keep saying branch. You're going to want to cut about the top third of the cane off. So you're going to leave 2/3, and that's what you're going to tie up with wire. As far as the floricanes, and the floricanes once again are your canes that produce fruit this year. They will only produce fruit 1 year. After that, you cut them off. That's why I have these marked by this. And once again, this is only done during winter pruning. Don't do this during the summer because your cane was not done producing fruit. But you're going to come down here at the base, and you're going to cut that off down there, basically ground level. Now make sure you only cut that cane because you may have a plant with numerous canes growing up. But throughout the growing season at any time of the year, you can always prune off dead or diseased canes. For example, this first one that I showed you with the yellow ribbon. This thing is not really doing much right now. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to clip that off. We'll just remove that right there. I don't know why this branch died. It could be disease, could be some form of pest, could have been those ants that I killed off. Several reasons, but we want to cut this off because if it's dead and diseased, it could spread disease to the rest of the plant, or it could just, you know, drain some of the resources from the plant, maybe trying to heal this thing, even though it's a no-go. Now, the Heritage Red Raspberry is considered a self-supporting plant, but I'm going to tell you that that is not always the case. As you can see, it's generally self-supporting. I mean, it does kind of droop and whatnot, so I give it a little assistance. You can see these standing straight up. But let me show you what can happen. This branch right here got a little bit long and a little bit heavy, and you can see down here it decided, you know, it couldn't support itself anymore. So it broke, which means the rest of the cane is pretty much died as well. Now the top of it is still green, but it's not hanging on, I can tell you that. So you can see right here where it broke. Now I want to point out to you, you can see below the break point, it's got new growth on it down here. We don't want to cut that off, so don't cut this thing down here. So come down here and cut it off. Cut it off at an angle like you just saw. The raspberry also had some magical and healing properties to some Native Americans and some Asian cultures. It was believed to reduce inflammation and ease the pain of childbirth. So, you know, you don't need an epidural. Quit being a wuss. Have some raspberry tea. You'll be just fine. So on today's edition of You Should Be Growing This, we have covered the heritage red raspberry and why you should be growing this. It's very easy to grow, it's very easy to take care of, it's very easy to maintain, requires very little resources. It's very easy for a first-time grower or a seasoned grower to grow and not have to be burdened with a lot of maintenance and, you know, putting a skirt on this thing to holding its hand and take care of it. In the meantime, please don't forget, we were created on purpose for a purpose. Be your purpose. Until next time on Chatting with Chintzy, I'm Chintzy Barato. Out.